Welcome to Behind the Aisle podcast, where we are just two wedding professionals sharing a no bullshit approach to what goes on behind the scenes in the industry. My name is Sarah, and I'm a wedding photographer.
And my name is Katie, and I'm a wedding planner. Hello. You survived!
I survived my triple header weekend.
Tell the listeners what happened to you.
I had 3 weddings in one weekend, which is something I 0 out of 10 recommend. They were great. They were fine, kind of. Mostly fine. They were mostly fine. And yeah, I had one Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday's wedding was only 4 hours, but after doing one 9-hour and one 8-hour day, 4 hours is still a lot.
Over the cliff. Done.
I was like delirious by. Actually, what's interesting is Saturday, I was more tired going into my Saturday wedding than I was going into my Sunday wedding, which is very weird. Yeah. I don't know if my body just like bounced back or something.
It just rallied.
It was like, all right, this is what we're doing. And then Monday, I was okay for the most part. It's very strange. I woke up really tired this morning though, but I think it's because I was forced. I had like an alarm set instead of just like waking up naturally. So my body was like, no more, please. But yeah, I survived. I did it. I don't recommend doing that.
You normally don't do that anyway.
I don't. It just happened to fall that way. I usually only do one a weekend for that reason, and I do feel like I can't give like 100% to everyone. By Sunday I'm like, no more.
Right.
But Sunday was a micro-ish wedding, so I didn't really have a super strong connection with them in general, so it wasn't like I had to continue to give like my 100% that I do like that I did on Friday. Not to say that I didn't give my all. I'm just saying like I didn't have to. There's like you have to put on.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I had to put on so much because it was just like let's get you down the aisle, I'm here to do whatever. And then Saturday was friends of mine. So
yeah, my
original wedding that was booked was Friday, and then I had the Sunday one booked. And then my friends were like, "Hey, we're gonna get married. You want to photograph?"
That was a really short time frame. I remember you coming and telling me that they were
2
like
months
trying to. Yeah.
They got, I guess, low key engaged 2 months ago, and they were like, "Let's do October." I was like,
"Are you out of your mind?
You're insane. You don't understand."
But it worked out.
But it did. Okay. It's fine. We were fine. I survived. I only have 2 more weddings for the entire year.
That's insane.
Then I'm done. But my October, I will not see the light of day for until probably mid-November, if I'm being honest. Because I have on top of that, like obviously everyone wants engagement sessions done in October, so and family sessions and whatever else comes up, and then I have to edit all of them. Yay me.
It's not, I feel like it's not necessarily like the sessions, it's all that post-production.
It's the post. If I could just do the session and like do everything in one day, it'd be great. But because I have so much post-production, now I'm like 6 weddings deep.
That's crazy.
I had 3 in one weekend, so I'm automatically 6 weddings deep.
I'm sure you have album designs too that you're working on.
Album designs, engagement sessions, motherhood milestone sessions.
Holidays are coming. I'm sure people are hitting you up about like,
I'm prepping for Christmas
I
minis.
need Christmas card pictures. Yeah.
So.
Holy shit. It's all right.
It's okay.
One bite at a time.
It's okay. Then I get like 4 months off, so it's fine.
Woohoo.
Just pushing forward.
And in between, we get to see Sabrina and Taylor.
Yes. Taylor's the mark of like my, not my off season, but my slowing down.
It's like the grand finale of like,
pretty much.
It's like a celebration of like, look, you're done.
Truly, I'm gonna use it as my celebration.
All of like that energy that you have like for weddings, now you're gonna you need it for 3.5 hours worth of wonderful music.
Yeah, I hope I can. I will push through on that, but
it'll happen.
Yeah, I'm so excited though.
Yeah, so stoked.
Yeah, we're doing our Pop Girl Fall this year, We saw Megan, and then now we're gonna go see Sabrina in a couple weeks, and then we see Taylor the week after.
Oh my God, it's only a week from.
Yeah, it's next week, next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend.
No, next.
I know. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh.
So excited.
Wait, then that means then too that marks in 2 weeks, then we see Sabrina, and then 2 weeks after that we see Taylor.
Mm-hmm. And we're flying. We're flying to go see her.
I want to throw up.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Wow, October's gonna fly really fast.
What's insane though is we got our Taylor tickets like a year ago.
I know.
What I thought it might have been a year and a half ago. It was a long time between when we got the tickets until when we were gonna see her. It was like a year. It was over a year ago.
Please hold. I will literally tell you. Let me go.
Because I remember when we booked them, and I was like, "Holy shit, we have like over a year until we see her."
I will tell you,
which is crazy,
dude. August 11th of 2023.
I told you.
What?
I told you. It was like crazy how long we had to wait, and now it's fucking here, which is insane to me.
I had no idea. Mm-hmm. That's how like far in advance that I did it.
Yeah, I was like, that's nuts.
Wow,
all right, I guess we'll see her.
Was not bad. I keep looking at that.
No, they were like $250.
Mm-hmm.
We paid more for Sabrina.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. Sabrina's like $400. Which nobody needs to know that, but
you know.
Yeah, we paid more for Sabrina than we did for Taylor, but that's...
No, we didn't.
Yes.
Shut up.
I swear to God, that's why I was like, I can't believe how much we paid for them.
$284.
Yeah, we paid $375 for Sabrina.
Did we really?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I said when I was on the phone with you. I was like, oh.
Miss Carpenter, Madame.
Well, the big thing is that you got the lottery thing.
Yeah, but my first round though, I spent more money on tickets the first round, and I mean, our seats were so good. Me and Emma's seats were so good. This time around though, our seats are real good.
I know.
And
I know.
Look, let me
stole them tickets.
I'm about to say, we're not gonna look at, what is the phrase, gifted horse in the mouth or something?
Not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
Whatever.
Yeah. However, we do have to fly there. So that was an added cost. We did have to get a hotel, so that's an added cost.
True.
But in reality, I'm pretty sure we're seeing her after everything, minus merch, because we're not going to talk about that. But I want to say it was only like $650,
probably
$700.
Probably.
We still have to feed ourselves, but still,
meh.
What's food?
Ramen and peanut butter crackers.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, we lucked out.
We did.
Anywho, we're very excited for what's to come. I don't know when this episode releases. Will this release after? This might release when we get back.
Shut up. Hold on. I'm looking at our calendar.
I always forget that we're so far ahead.
Yeah, we really are. This will come.
It comes after?
Yeah.
Damn it. All right, well.
To our future selves.
Enjoy.
I hope you had a great time.
Enjoy.
Yeah, it'll come out on, hopefully if all works out, and if you're listening to this, confirm on socials. Is it November 7th? Yeah, 'cause that's when it's supposed to come out.
Oh. So we'll have been backed by then.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, I hope we had a great time.
I feel really weird.
I know, isn't that
talking
strange?
to ourselves? Yes.
We had a great time.
It's like a time capsule. Taylor was wonderful. It was everything that we wanted it to be.
Yeah, I guess that's the shitty part about recording so far in advance is stuff's not really up to date. Oh well.
It'll be all right.
It'll be fine. It helps with what the fucks because then we don't know necessarily when stuff happened.
This is true.
That's great.
This is very, very true.
Well, today, you guys, this conversation was sparked by TikTok that Katie saw, I guess. We are talking about...
Oh, yeah.
Literally. Like, you're the one that brought this up.
I know.
She looked at me like I was insane.
Well, I was just trying to rattle my brain of like, wait, what TikTok did I see? Because I watch a lot of them.
Where sharing is caring.
And we're not necessarily talking about like tangible items.
Yeah. So it's the conversation of sharing everyone's weddings.
Yeah.
Or events or whatever it is that you do. Kind of loving on each individual client, making sure that they feel special. And we're kind of opening up that conversation of why we do that.
Yeah, I'll already say this like right now, I can understand both sides, but I do have a side that I stand with a little bit firmer.
I can understand both sides. I disagree with the other side though. I understand why they're doing it. I don't agree with why they do it though.
Yeah. I think you and I, we share the same like perspective on that one. So the TikTok that I saw, that came across and that like really plucked me in the feels was that there was it was some girl who had just posted, it was like B-roll of her doing something, and then it's that type of like TikTok where then there's like text that's written like over like the B-roll of whatever she's doing, and the text essentially was like that she was in the feels of that none of her vendors had were posting about like her wedding like at all, and that they were posting about other couples' weddings and couples' weddings that came after hers. And so then she was just, I think it was kind of like that moment when, or something along those lines. It was some sort of like trendy trigger like phrase that started it. And then I went to go read the comments, and it was flooded with other past brides saying, I share in the same sentiment as you, like none of my vendors posted, or like my photographer like didn't post mine, like some of my other vendors posted like certain things or whatever have you. And it was hundreds of comments. Like this TikTok had gone viral. It wasn't like just a small little creator or whatever. Well, I mean, it wasn't like a small like reach or anything. It had gone viral, and that struck a nerve with me. And I was like, no past bride should ever feel that way. Mind you, another disclaimer, can you control how other people are feeling? No.
Right.
But at the same time though, this is a soapbox that I will get on, but I will also die on this hill, is like us as a wedding industry, we have shot ourselves in the foot about creating quote unquote aesthetically pleasing looking weddings. When in reality, like, again, it goes back to literally like our very first episode. We all have one job.
Right.
And, which I'm going to plug and go, you should go listen to that if you've never listened to that. But it's a full circle moment of like, holy shit, we like this wedding industry. The only reason why that this industry even existed is because people wanted to have their special day, like it's something that happens for a good majority one time, maybe twice, but it's still a special moment in that person's life where then they want it to be documented and being able to, celebrate it and be able to like look back and just reminisce on it and all that sort of thing too. But now it's just gotten to the point where we're not focusing on the actual original intention of a wedding. Now I feel like we're trying to keep up with the Joneses, them versus us, that sort of thing too. And it's completely lost its sentiment.
Absolutely. I think there is so the reason why people don't share certain people's weddings is because they get stuck in this loop of, I can only share what my quote unquote ideal client is, because if I share it, that's what's going to come back for me. Yes, but you should be grateful and appreciative and happy that that person chose you to whatever your price point is, whatever service that you are providing. I think this mostly comes into play with more so photographers and full service planners. I don't feel like DJs or like catering companies, like if they don't share, like that's not what they're looking for. It's more so on the photographer who's not sharing these weddings, because we're the ones that mostly blog them. We're the ones that, make reels from them, share all the photos on Instagram. That's how they get like their sneak peeks sometimes, is through Instagram. And because those photographers aren't sharing quote unquote what their ideal client is. Maybe they don't have stuff that's in the wedding that is something that you want to share because it doesn't fit your usual aesthetic, but those people chose you to be there and paid for you to be there because they wanted you there and they wanted your service that you provided for them. Whether or not it is a DIY wedding or it's a backyard or it's a barn or whatever the fuck doesn't align with your views, you should be able to, as a photographer, share things. You don't have to share everything, but share things about the day, about the couple that align with them in their day, and then move on. You don't have to share everything.
Right.
Like, you don't have to share the DIY stuff or the fact that they're at a barn. There's thousands of other photos that you're taking.
Essentially share like how you connected with the couple.
Right. There's absolutely zero reason why you cannot share a couple, like an actual physical couple. If they don't fit your aesthetic based off of how they look, that's another conversation that you need to have with yourself, because that's absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
People do it though. Like, they're not high-end luxury whatever.
Magazine like worthy looking.
Yeah. Model-esque, whatever, normal Joe Schmo. That's not your problem. And that's something that you need to take a deeper look on yourself and be like, why are you actually in this business? Are you in this business to turn weddings into photo shoots?
Yep.
Or are you in this business to document people's special days and provide that service for them?
Yep. And share like, hey, look, like the honor that I got to do like this past weekend. Yep.
Yeah. We get pigeonholed and like stuck in this, like, I got to make it Instagram worthy or whatever, but every couple's Instagram worthy.
Yep.
Every wedding is Instagram worthy because that's who you're photographing.
Yep. Like,
that's just unacceptable to me.
I wholeheartedly agree. I actually, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you. Not that, I don't think it would ever come up like in conversation. I actually like thoroughly, when I was like reading all the comments and like reading the original TikTok, I thoroughly like related with the girl. None of my vendors posted anything about my wedding day, with the exception of my photographer. None of them. Not one. And I curated like that vendor team because at the time of when Jeff and I got married, it was people that were like in my circle. Didn't share not one photo.
Do you have any idea as to why?
Nope.
Interesting.
None of.
But your photographer shared.
Yeah. Even for a while too, like we were on her website for like a long time as well too, so that made me happy. She's a good. If you're listening, Tori, I love you.
I mean, if you as a vendor put yourself in their shoes, and you are the one getting your photo taken, you're the one getting married, and then you see on their social medias them sharing. I mean, you can tell when people share. I share sneak peeks from every wedding and mostly every engagement session if I have time, or whatever session I'm doing. So you can kind of gauge whether or not they are going to share your posts. Like, you're almost expecting it. I mean, I have people in my initial meetings now, or my consults, asking me if I'm going to do sneak peeks because it's so common and so expected now that when it's not shared, it's taken personally.
It does.
It's absolutely like, what's wrong with my wedding?
That's exactly what I thought when it happened to me. I was like, I understand that my wedding was very it was conventional but unconventional. Like, we got married in the church, but then we had a cocktail style reception in the fellowship hall of the church that didn't look like a fellowship hall because I pipe and draped the fuck out of it.
Right.
And all that sort of.
But I think that's cool. And you had a breakfast. It was all breakfast themed, which I love.
Yeah.
But like,
brunch with the Baynards at 8 p.m. on a Friday.
That's so cute. I love that. But
I don't know.
It's just unfortunate.
Jewel tone wedding in the middle, on the top of May. It was so like backwards.
But so that's probably why, because it didn't necessarily fit a May spring aesthetic.
Probably not.
But who the fuck cares? It's what you chose.
Yeah.
It is what you chose.
I still love our photo, obviously. Like, I'm
Yes.
past it now.
No,
but
I know.
I did, like, I scratched my head and I was like, well, shit.
Like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, literally. That's
Why
what
is mine not worthy enough? Like,
Yeah.
if you think about, like, just put yourself in their shoes and you go, what did I do? What's
Correct.
wrong with mine?
Yep.
What did I not do good enough? Am I
That's
not
what
good
this
enough?
TikTok, like the original like creator of like this TikTok, like had stated like in the caption, then not like in the original text, but in the caption, she was like, it makes me rethink everything.
Right. And you just spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars
Yeah.
on this event and we're so happy about it. And then you get hit with the was mine not good enough?
Yeah.
And I think that comes along too, even more so when people book these, like, they spend like a lot of their budget on these really high-end photographers, and the rest of their wedding is not necessarily. Caitlyn James does this, but she shares them all. She's a very big proponent of like sharing is caring, like
Yeah.
that's huge to her. But she is $10,000 minimum to have her, and so she knows that when she goes into these weddings, she is probably the most expensive vendor besides catering that has been booked at that wedding.
Yeah.
She does not treat them as if they are not worthy of sharing because the rest of their wedding is not
It's
up
lower
to their
end.
up to not up to their standards. Like, majority of them are like in like church conference areas or whatever, but she's learned to photograph those, as have I learned to photograph those, so that they do feel a little bit more on the higher end scale, which is what you're paying for.
See, that's too, I think that truly, like, when it comes from a photographer standpoint, you truly have like nailed it. And if you're able to take potentially a low end, cost wise, lower end wedding, but making it look like it was high end, that's, I feel like you have cracked the code. You have also
That's
just
what you should be aiming for.
like have really like the craft. You've just like, I don't want to say it's like the peak, like that's where you have to end. Like, I'm sure there's always things that you will continuously learn and grow over time, but I truly feel like if you're able to make magic out of something, I think you've mastered your craft.
Honestly, that should be what the goal is. The goal of your wedding should be, or the goal of photographing weddings shouldn't be to get to where you are photographing stuff that's easy.
Yeah.
And you are given all of these like beautiful florals and beautiful installments and all of this stuff, all of these stunning details that they've given you at the beginning of the day with the Jimmy Choos and the Louboutins and all that bullshit. You should be able to take what an average middle class wedding is given to you, because that's majority of what you're gonna get anyway. It's very rare unless you're in like the high luxury market, and turn it into the same art that you would give anyone else that's putting more money into stuff.
Yep.
Because people can only afford what they can afford, and they still deserve to have the same service provided.
Yeah.
And sharing a wedding, if you are going to share weddings, you share all of them.
I feel like a couple should walk away from their wedding day, even post-production wise. They know, they're not dumb. They know that they had either a middle class, maybe lower end wedding, but they should feel as if they had a high class.
Absolutely.
Like
they should
upper-
feel as special.
Correct.
Yeah. And I don't think that, I mean, if you are going to cherry pick your weddings, then you shouldn't share any of them.
Makes me like physically uncomfortable.
Right. You shouldn't share any of them. You should have what you want for your marketing, and then that's that. You shouldn't share any of them on Instagram. You shouldn't share any of them.
Which is crazy
on your
because like
blog.
we're in like a day and age too where we're not judging people like a book by its cover, acceptance and,
We're trying.
it is an election year. But like I feel like we are in a society of like we're so desperately trying to like make this call out of like we need to be tolerant of other people, of everybody, and love everyone and blah blah blah. But like I feel like it's all just talk. Like no one's actually like following through on it like at all.
It's all performative.
Yes,
Is what it is.
It's
It's just performative.
it like is
Yeah.
really really starting to grind my gears a whole lot because again I can also hear like other people. I don't know if you guys are like me. If I do end up having the opportunity to listen to a podcast, I like respond when I'm listening to it, like in the car. I probably look like a freak, and I'm just like talking back to like the people who are recording, being like, "Yeah, absolutely," or like, "Fuck you," or I don't know. Anyway, but like I can just hear people. The whole point of me saying that is I can just hear people who are like driving, being like, "You guys are idiots." I can just hear like the arguments already like in car trips right now of people responding, being like, "But it's not my responsibility to like care." Not necessarily care, but like worry about like how they're going to feel afterwards or whatever have you. Like I'm just going to do the job that I was hired to do and like go so on and so forth.
That's a part of your job.
See that
in this day and
that's
age,
not talked about like at all though. Nobody talks when you go to conferences, when you're listening to speakers, nobody is talking about like the emotional responsibility that us wedding vendors, we truly do have at the end of the day. Yes, contractually you are providing a good or a service or a product or whatever have you, but there is an emotional like contract that you have.
Yeah. Well, weddings are extremely emotional in general. And I'm not just talking about crying at like the wedding. I'm just saying like all of the it's an emotional roller coaster from start to finish. And it absolutely is a part of your job as a wedding vendor. I'm not talking, unfortunately, I'm not talking caterers or like the people that you wouldn't necessarily expect that from as far as like sharing and all that.
I mean, I wouldn't like completely put it out of them.
I wouldn't either. I'm just saying that's not something like standard. It's not standard for a caterer or a DJ or whatever to like share a blog post or whatever on their socials about weddings as soon as they happen, because they're waiting for photos to come in and like all that stuff.
No, I see what you're saying.
As a photographer and as a planner, we are the front runners of the wedding day, regardless of if you are a fly on the wall photographer or you're up in their face or whatever your style is. You are in charge of the post-wedding emotions because you hold those memories for them and you are delivering them back to them, so they should be able to come back and look at them and be like, oh my god, that was my wedding day, this is so emotional. So if you are cherry picking who you're sharing on your social medias, it deems like your importance level. So if you choose that you're going to share only certain ones, only those people are important to you, regardless of how much they paid you, what their wedding looked like. Those people are the ones that are important to you. Yep. Now, if you do 20 weddings a year and you only cherry pick 7 of them, the rest of them are going to be like, well, what's wrong with my wedding? And then they're going to constantly look back, and they're probably going to look at their photos again when you deliver them and be like, I don't really like these because I don't feel the excitement that you feel for everyone else's wedding, because it's clear on your socials that you are excited to share these people's weddings. Yep. So you're not excited about them. Why am I supposed to be excited about them?
Like what happened, or like what is it that like we didn't do that constituted
what was
for
wrong
us
with
to get
it?
Posted on social media? Yeah.
So I feel like it is our job. It is a part of our job to continue the love and just loving on them up until, and I'm not saying you have to do, every week until you deliver. Just do your sneak peeks. You don't even have to blog them. Just do your sneak peeks or whatever it is.
Just one time.
Keep the excitement going, and then they get the rest, and then they can carry on from there.
Yep.
Now, I know people are going to be like, I'm too busy. You got to build it in your workflow. Like,
you are preaching to me.
I know, but
I don't.
you are still waiting. Well, not really.
No. And I will eat that. Like, and I do need to build it into like what's crazy is like I do have it like in my workflow.
You just skip it because you don't feel like, it's something that can back burner.
Yes.
on top of everything else
It
that
has
you're
a lot,
doing.
for me personally, it has a lot to do with my anxiety of like, if I'm not physically working on a current client's wedding right now, then like I'm wasting my time, or like I'm not using my time wisely, when I know it's a full circle thing.
It is a full circle thing.
Like whenever I get consultations and I'm asking like, how did you find me? The first one is either like the venue's preferred like list or whatever. My second big lead is Instagram.
Mine too. Yep. That's
So-
exactly how mine go. It's
and
either a referral or Instagram.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of like, I really need to be putting the work back into the spot that my clients are finding me from.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because anyway, that's a whole different situation. But no, I need to do a better job of it. But see, I can only tell that maybe there's other people that are like me where I only post like once every 3 months, which is terrible. Then that's the excuse that they're going to give. But like where I feel like this episode, like this whole topic is really coming from, are the people that are really consistent about posting. And
It'd be like me. If I were to
Yes.
not post a wedding, people would be like,
what happened?
what happened? Like I have anxiety right now because I have 3 weddings that I have to sneak peek this week somehow.
And I'm sure if they are prone to be on social media, they are probably checking your Instagram and they're looking for it.
My thing is like, why would you not want those people to share your work? Because granted, maybe you can choose later on if you don't want leads from, maybe you don't want leads from that client base. Okay, you can choose to say no to somebody later on. But why would you not want the opportunity for those people to then share your work, to put your work in front of other people that are potential clients?
And then on top of that, the vendors then that you are also tagging in that
Are sharing
they're
it.
reposting
Like
it.
it's literally marketing.
Yes.
That's a whole nother thing. It's marketing for yourself. Like,
The only other thing I can think of is like they don't want to work with any of those vendors at that venue, like literally anything else.
then don't next time.
Valid. I'm playing devil's advocate because again, I'm hearing the people that are in the car that are listening and they're like yelling
There's
back
no
at-
excuse. Truly, there's no excuse unless you are like bogged down, which I probably won't get to sneak. I'm going to try really hard, but I might not get to sneak peek one of these weddings until next week, which is going to suck because they're probably going to be like, what happened? Where's mine? But at the same time, like when I do those sneak peeks, I then send the sneak peek gallery to the client. So then they're now sharing everything. They can still be excited. Everyone wants to see them. They won't be in your inbox asking for photos. They have 50 to however many you want to give them. And then you just move
It
on.
ties them over to the full gallery sent to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
I
don't get it.
Girl, I don't get it either.
Maybe-
Somebody explain it to us. I don't get it.
The only thing I can think of is maybe like once in a while, like you just forget, like you just are so bogged down with work that like you just kind of overlook that portion of it. But still, like you have to.
So then eventually though, when you end up like sending the gallery out, maybe average 6 to 8 weeks is pretty standard of what we hear. Then when you send the gallery to the couple, you don't want to post then just like one photo of like, okay, gallery sent to like A&N. Here's like a cute little like couple's like portrait from their session or whatever.
Yep. That's all you got to do. And then they share it, and then somebody else shares it, and then somebody else shares it, and
One
then
and
somebody
done.
sees you, and then you get a new client, and then you make money.
Wow.
You make money. See how that works? Crazy.
I know it.
But yeah, it's our job to make sure everyone feels important, because every one of your clients is important because they paid for you. They wanted you there.
Literally helped you keep your light bill paid.
Correct. They wanted you there
Yes.
above all else.
Yep.
They paid you a
I
lot
had a
of money.
photographer one time. I will never forget this. In my head, I think it was like in an email or something. Maybe vocally said to me. I don't remember. It just imprinted in my brain that we had worked a wedding together, one and done, and it was one of those
Not
things.
shout out, Mike.
So, oh yeah. Oh no, not Mike. Sorry. Not one and done events. No. Hi Mike, we love you. No. The phrase one and done. Whoops. Sorry. No. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I'm glad you said that. I'm shit. He probably wouldn't be like, what?
What did I do?
No, we love you. No, it was a photographer that we had worked together one time. And I said, hey, I would love to, you know, because vibed really well, like everything went really smoothly and whatnot. And yeah, I was like, hey, I'd love to keep like your information like on hand if you enjoyed working with me. I enjoyed working with you, like potentially like referrals like in the future based off of like the style that they had and everything. And they said, yeah, sure. The only thing is though, like I'm moving away from barn weddings. I don't want to shoot any more barn weddings. So don't send me anybody that is getting married in a barn. I was like,
ma'am, that is 60% of Northern Virginia.
I was like, okay. So they were striving to become like just DC only. They only wanted to shoot in DC. So I feel like what probably could have said in general was like, hey, I would love to work with you. I am trying to get into the DC market a little bit more too. So whenever you're in the DC market, I'd love to be able to work together. I think that would have been a lot better instead of them coming and telling me, I don't want barn weddings at all.
No more barn weddings.
Yep.
Well, that's a lot of money that you're foregoing by not doing a barn.
I understand that a barn wedding, there is a stereotype that goes along with it. However, depending on like the planner and the design that you do,
I also think it's depending on the barn
that
nowadays, because unless it's somebody's like backyard, I'm pretty confident that most barns around here are expensive.
I was about to say yes, but it's about 50-50. You've got like your refurbished dairy barns, because most of Northern Virginia, most of Virginia period, but most of Northern Virginia were all dairy farmers. So there are refurbished dairy barns, or maybe the original structure was just in really bad shape. They tore it down and rebuilt it though to try to what's the word?
Like match the original.
Yeah, or just trying to, oh my God, what is the word? Keep up like with the history, or like they're trying to maintain. Yeah. Or they are building, because of course, you know, I will always point the finger at Chip and Joanna Gaines with the shiplap, because that's where all the barn weddings came from. You guys did this. It is your fault that we will never not see a barn wedding ever for the rest of our life. But it's true, when they pretty much introduced the farmhouse style for interior design, we just got on that train and we have not gotten off since 2005, whatever. I mean, things have developed over time.
Yeah.
But of course, a permanent structure is a permanent structure. It's not like people are tearing them down. Okay, barn weddings are not really a thing. I think I'm just going to build a greenhouse now instead.
Well, also barns are easy for event venues. Like that's just a simple.
Yeah, because you got your 4 walls and a roof.
Yeah, and it's easy to just be like, all right, we're a barn. Like it's a lot harder to make a manor house turn into into an event venue.
And because ballrooms, they came and went as a part of that trend. Again, the ballroom will eventually, like the barn will, like the ballroom, will eventually come and go as well, and new properties will build, and there will be other things. We're already starting to see that anyway. A
lot of industrial is coming up.
Correct. Yeah. Greenhouses are around the corner, so we're gonna be on all of that. Talk to a planner first before you get married in a greenhouse. Let me tell you something. Science is a thing. And so is sweat. Anyway, but I was really taken aback by that comment, or it was in an email. Again, I don't remember how it was received, but it literally, that left a weird imprint into my brain.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, hey, but what if I chose a really super cost affordable barn and I was able to like really deck it out? Pipe and drape, beautiful pin spotting. Like I can literally design.
I hate pin spotting. Don't do that. It's bane of my existence.
I like a pin spot like on a centerpiece. That's really nice.
No, it's not.
Sarah, stop it.
Pin spotting is like a photographer's worst nightmare. I can't tell you that enough.
It's beautiful. I love it.
It's not. We'll agree to disagree.
I will fight you.
I will fight you.
Anyway, but just like you can really deck out a space, like especially a lot of these barn weddings or barn venues, they're blank spaces. I thought you were gonna sneeze.
No, I was like, big yawn. So I was tired.
But they're all like blank spaces. And so you really, or like a blank canvas essentially, and you can do literally whatever. So again, I'm beating a dead horse here, but like just really taking me aback, and I was like, damn, like what if I really like zhuzhed up the whole damn thing? Like,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's zhuzhed or not. If somebody wants you there to photograph it, it's because they chose you because they like it. Yeah, they're making it a little bit harder for you, but be fucking creative. That's your job.
I just got yelled at, guys. I'm just kidding.
Be fucking creative. It's your job.
Master your craft. I
Like-
think, and also, don't you want to be
It's
like
fun.
creatively challenged?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I want it to be easy. Sometimes I want to be creatively challenged. You know what? Also, when I work at the same venue every fucking weekend, you know, sometimes I have to be creative because I'm now working. Like, do you want that? Do you want to work at the same venue every weekend? I do it anyway, and I still share every single one of them because they're all extremely important to me. It's the same shit. I
Yep.
love you all, but it is.
Well, yeah, because if you're at the same venue multiple times,
Yes.
like in a weekend, I think you
But
were
they all-
you were at the same venue twice this weekend.
I was at the same venue twice this weekend. That'll be 4 times this month. And then
Bless.
I was probably there
Time to move in.
10 times. That's what he said to me. He was like, well, we're just going to have to get you a house now, aren't we? I was like, I live here now. I'm going to go live with your horses.
Yep.
But that's the other thing. Like, yeah, I work literally the same venue 60% of my weddings, and I still share every single one of them. And I try and make every single one of them look a little bit different because they are all different.
But they are, yes, because they're different. Because it's
Yeah.
a different couple
It's a
every
different
time.
couple.
Different
They-
story, different design,
Yeah.
different everything.
They have a different vibe. They do different things. Like, you can share, unless I tag the, and you might be able to tell at this point, but I was going to say, unless I tag the venue, you might not be able to tell that it's
Yeah.
the same venue that I'm at
100%.
every weekend.
Yep.
But that's my job.
Yep.
It's not my job to go out and cherry pick my weddings because
Yeah.
they're coming to me wanting me, my work. That's my job.
Yep.
I think that's it.
I was just gonna say I feel the same thing too with, I know like some of my planner friends, when we've got certain trending designs or palettes or something like that too, where we probably will grumble under our breath being like, damn, another blank and blank wedding or something like that. But again, our job is to honor the couple, what makes them who they are, and also then to be creatively challenged to bring something new and fresh.
That's on you at that point. They're not doing anything wrong.
Correct.
It's on you.
But then share, like, yeah, the whole sharing is caring though. Like truly, because you are,
You're
pun,
just
like
you're
the pun
caring.
aside, you like that's how you are caring for the couple. The wedding day may be over, that 12-hour day might have come and gone or whatever, but there is still, like, I feel like there, like I said before, there's an emotional contract that you still have even after the wedding is over,
Yep.
regardless of what category that you are in. So share the damn weddings, guys.
Do it. It's okay.
For real.
You'll be okay.
For real. And no is a complete sentence. If you get a referral or an inquiry from a person, place, or thing
Yeah.
that you don't want to
No,
work with.
thank you.
Correct. Not that hard either. You would think.
All right, Katie, where can they find you?
Only an Instagram that I don't post on. TILLYAND as in dog. TEAL. That's where we're at on Instagram, that I post once every 3 months. Every now and again, I'm on Insta Story when I feel confident enough to do that.
She needs a VA, y'all. She needs a VA.
Oh, God.
When she had a VA, it was
God bless.
grand.
It was so great. Got 400 followers in 2 months. Olivia, if you're listening, I love and miss you so deeply. Quit your corporate job and come work for me again. No, we love her. Where can we find you, Sarah?
You can find the podcast at Behind the Aisle Podcast, where I only do post every. I only post like twice a month.
Okay, look. The podcast is different than a wedding day. Okay,
I suck.
there's so much content.
It's behind the,
But you're really great at posting on your
I am.
wedding.
I am proud to say I'm good at posting on my normal Instagram. You can find us at Behind the Eye Hole Podcast on Instagram. You can submit What the Fuck Wednesdays. Just DM us if you want, or fill out the Google form in the link in bio. We do need What the Fuck Wednesdays though, so please do that.
Oh, this is also your random chance. This is your first time listening to us. What the Fuck Wednesdays are like your insider stories of like shit that went down at a wedding, whether it was like something that happened with the wedding party, the couple, vendor to vendor story or whatever. Like, spill the tea, bro.
Just a moment where you were like, what the fuck is happening?
For real.
That, write it down.
Questioned your whole life.
And then you can find me at Serendipity Photography, SARA like my name, SARANDIPITY Photography.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Guys.
Bye.